up, people? Welcome back to Not Just Another Paranormal Podcast with Tom over here to my side. I'm Brett, and today we're going to talk about some of the biggest paranormal TV shows that have been on TV. And before I go over any further, I just want to let everybody know that if you have any comments or suggestions, you want to write to us, NJA Paranormal Podcast at Gmail.
There you go.
So, I went, Tom, to the library. I had to go to the library because there was a lot of paper I had to print, and I wasn't going to use all my paper.
Better you than me.
So, I somewhat did it wrong. Well, I should say I did it wrong, but when I went to go print it out, I wanted to go print out from earliest to latest in the year that the show started.
Right.
I did it wrong. I wasn't about to go back to the library and reprint it, so I...
Wing it.
Yeah, so I highlighted... I mean, they have stuff here that was from the UK and other countries.
No, let's not go into the UK.
And,
Let's stick
Canada.
with America.
So I highlighted some of the, like, I think it was like 5 of these that people probably have, more than likely have seen. A couple I haven't really watched, but I've heard of them. I've seen a couple pieces of episodes, and you know, maybe for some of the people that are listening or watching can fill us in on some of the stuff that that they've seen on these shows. So the 5 that I'm going to talk about is A Haunting, Dead Files, Paranormal State. I think maybe you've seen that one, and the Ghost Adventures, which is still on today.
Oh yeah, it's still pretty popular.
And Ghost Hunters, which is basically the one that started it all. And I highlighted dates as well.
In the other show,
like when these things started. So first the Haunting, which aired from, I guess it was, the way they have it written is from 2002, then they have a comma, and then it went from 2005 to 2007, then went from 2012 to 2019. It was on 3 different channels, believe it or not, and apparently it's not on anymore because it doesn't say it's present or anything.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with A Haunting?
I think I've seen so many of those shows, and unfortunately, the word haunting confuses me because it's like a haunting of this or haunting caught on tape, or it's like
it was. I think it was one of those shows where basically it was people who lived through
hauntings.
A haunting.
I've probably seen it.
People went and they told their stories. They recreated it.
Yeah, I've seen those.
So what I did was now people have to bear with me because I'm not a fast reader.
Take your time.
I highlighted certain things, but for me it takes a minute, or not maybe a minute, but a few seconds to focus on what it is.
We'll give you 15.
But I went on some of these, and there was one that
stood out to you.
Well, there was one that I couldn't find any information on.
Really?
That I'm going to bring to your attention later. Actually, you know what? Let me bring it to your attention now because I don't have the sheet here. I have the other sheets here that I highlighted, but then I have to go through all these to find them.
That's like a lot of paperwork you got going on. It's like
it's a lot.
You're
So we're going to try to
this stuff.
We're going to get this in an hour. I'm pretty sure.
Go.
So Haunted Collector.
Not that show.
Which, if I go through my papers here, well, you know what?
I don't like that show.
People can see this. You can go. You can look
me.
at this on Wiki. Go to Paranormal TV shows, something like that.
Yeah.
There's I had 10 pages of these.
Oh boy.
Just shows. I had to throw half of them away because I didn't need them. But Haunted. Okay, here it is. Haunted Collector only lasted 3 years, or maybe 2 years. It was 2011 to 2013, and from what I can remember, it was interesting, but to me it was set up because
I wouldn't say set up.
If anybody's not seen this show, it's an older gentleman. I think he's probably maybe late 50s, early 60s, and he would go in. I think maybe with somebody, maybe a couple people. They would hear a story from the client of what's going on, and he would try to narrow it down. He would think that every house that he goes into, if there's a haunting of sorts, they would go into and try to find something that maybe it was attached to why it's still there.
Yeah.
And all the episodes that I saw, he found the item that this thing was that was clinging onto. He would take it, bring it to his gallery, and the people would have no more events going on.
Right. Makes sense.
I like the story behind it, but I just don't see how someone could go into someone's house and find something that something's attached to, and say, "Oh, that's it. We're taking it with us," and then all of a sudden people have no more claims.
Sometimes it's not attached to an item; it's just your house.
Yeah,
So-
I've never heard. I mean, I've heard spirits being attached to certain objects.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
But most of the time, when we've investigated,
Wasn't an
I
object.
think it was just there. I didn't
doing
see.
its thing.
I didn't see or feel like it was attached to anything.
Neither did I.
The only thing that I would see something attached to would be a person.
Well, yeah.
I
person's
mean, there
being
are
haunted.
objects,
Well,
right?
yeah,
I mean, there are.
your object. Yeah, person. Yeah. Why not? Sure.
So that's probably why that show didn't last very long. And I tried to wiki that. I couldn't find anything really important, like why it was canceled
Right.
or if a contract.
Is that show
or
like
whatnot.
The Haunted Collector, or is
Haunted
that different?
Collector? I looked it up. It was a guy. I read it. It was
No, because there's another show. I don't know if you found it, but where the people bring a haunted object to the guy, and he keeps it in his gallery, and that one scared me to death. Because
I think it's the same one. I think you're thinking of the same thing. 'Cause
yeah,
he
guy's
had a gallery
glasses.
or like a museum.
the
and
guy's like glasses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Haunted Collector.
Because there was one where I almost watched it and I shut it off automatically because what I don't like he does sometimes, which I think you should have a disclaimer on a show, because when you're showing objects that are truly haunted, but yet if you're showing an object that if you look at it, something negative can happen to you, I think you should put a disclaimer like, hey, before we unveil the doll, if you look at the doll, you could have a heart attack and die.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you tell people time out, you might want to change the channel because this really happened with this guy, just so you know. They had a doll on there, no kidding. Supposedly the doll was haunted. If you looked at the doll, bad things would happen to you. So the show ran. People called back to the show after it had run and told him, I looked at the doll. Some people got heart attacks. I'm not kidding you. I looked it up
Yeah.
online, and some people got ill. They got heart attacks when they looked at this doll.
Yeah.
Thank God I didn't look at it, because me and my girlfriend were like, I'm not watching that. I'm not even taking the chance at that point. I said,
Yeah.
shut it off.
There was an episode like that with dolls. I mean, sometimes dolls creep me out, sometimes they don't. But I remember
like 'em.
one of the episodes of one of the shows I'm going to bring up. They showed they were in this room full of dolls. I think I maybe even mentioned it in one of our other podcasts that we did.
I think you talked to me privately about
with
that.
Ghost Adventures. They went in this room and one of the dolls' eyes were blinking or something like that. That's just creepy stuff, man.
I don't like dolls. Do you?
Yeah. So if anybody knows any other information on Haunted Collector, is that what I called it?
Yeah, Haunted Collector, yeah.
Let us know what the deal was, because I couldn't find anything on it.
Didn't last long, did it?
2
Short-lived.
years, 2 to 3 years. I mean, again, that's the reason why I wouldn't want to watch it, because it just
Some things are
he's going to
bad.
find something every single time. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So I'll go back to a haunting,
There you go.
and
Excuse me.
I highlighted some things here. I couldn't find. Let me see. I really couldn't find any reason why it stopped. There was some things going on. They were changing some of the storylines. I guess some people weren't happy with. Let me just see. I'll just read this real quick.
Sure.
I don't know who these people are. I'm just reading what was on here. It says, according to Silverman, which I think, the show's writer. The show's writers search for stories and then filter out accounts with enough substantial content. He has further added that the episodes are strictly based on the accounts of victims, although the Discovery Channel, I don't know if I should say that, we'll edit it out if I can't use that, compelled the show's producers to sanitize certain case histories.
Sanitize? What does that mean?
Cleanse it or something. I don't know.
Cleanse it.
That's just, that's what they
weird.
say. It's to sanitize certain histories due to their graphic, sexual and violent content.
Tone
And
it
it
down
also
a bit,
says
I
down
guess.
here that some of the stories were also altered. So,
Yeah. Kind of weird.
yeah. I mean, you have a show for a reason. You don't change it
Sanitize it.
you don't sanitize a show.
Or kinda make
just
it
to make
PG.
it, a little less creepy. I mean, if these are actual stories, people,
Let 'em be told.
you got to tell them. People want to hear it. That's why they're watching the show for, right? I mean, it's a haunting.
Well,
Some of
yeah.
these things, hauntings are bad.
Actually, my favorite show, my two favorite shows, two out of all what you're putting on there. A is Taps,
yeah.
Gotta
Well,
love those guys.
that's gonna be like the last one we're going to talk
Right.
about, and I get some really
Yeah, I like them.
interesting story about that.
But then
one.
another one I like even more than that, because I'm a cryptid guy, right?
Yeah.
I'm into Loch Ness monster, vampires, werewolves, the paranormal caught on Paranormal Con on Tape?
I don't have it here, but no, we can mention that if we have time.
Paranormal Con on Tape is a really... I like the fact they get it on tape, and I love the video of it, and they have a board of professionals that say, okay, is this fake? Is this real? There's like 5 people on it, and they'll each look at the tape and say, no, it's total junk.
Yeah.
But I like the fact they have the professionals look at it, and they've had so many great episodes, like Skinwalker Ranch, UFOs, Time Slips. You want to watch a good show that you get to see and not people act? Guys, look at that one.
Right, and
That's a hit. Love it.
Paranormal Con on Tape. Again, I'll talk about that later, but it's everything paranormal, everything that evolves around
aliens,
paranormal, not just ghosts. It's
everything.
It's really, really interesting show, and the one that my mother watched at one time, and
did
she
she
saw
like
the
it?
one about the night crawlers with these long legs.
Oh, yeah, with the legs.
Oh,
like
dude, that
this.
creeped her out.
Remember that?
Yeah.
They're like that.
And it really looked legit. People, I'm telling you got to watch that episode.
No,
I don't know what episode it is.
That was good.
But I mean,
The
some of
night
those are really
crawlers.
creepy. Even if they're fake, they're creepy.
And then the thing in the camera that like moves like the guy from like Harry Potter freaked me out. I was like, that little alien guy. What was he doing? He's like doing his little dance going across.
Yeah, I think I saw that one.
Remember that guy? That
I'm
was
trying
fun.
to remember. I've seen a bunch of them.
They're great nonetheless.
So, I'm gonna go to the next one. This one. Do you know anything about the Dead Files?
Yeah, and
It says it's been on since 2011, and it says it's still presently going.
I don't like it. I just don't like the way those people. They're just so. I don't know. They just kind of be honest about it, or
Be honest about it.
honest.
We can censor out if there's something.
Okay,
bad
no,
you
it's
say.
nothing bad. I just think it's just a tad trashy. The Dead Files. I just don't like the way they conduct themselves. They're like, it's like watching Rocky Balboa do a ghost hunting investigation. I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't tolerate that. It's too lowbrow for me.
Right.
So yeah, sorry.
I have never watched this episode. The show. I've never watched this show.
Don't
I've
waste your
seen
time.
bits and pieces as I'm scrolling through the TV.
Don't do it.
But apparently,
I don't like it.
it's still saying it's running, so people must be enjoying it. But the only reason why
From
I
New
got
York.
it or wanted to talk about it
I
is
don't like
because it's a well-known show.
it. Yeah, it is.
It's been running for 8 years, 9 years, maybe even longer.
Who
What
knew?
was it, 2011, 10 years maybe. But when I went on Wikipedia, I noticed it said criticism, and I said, "Oh,
Probably a lot of it. No.
I gotta take that with me, look at it,
What did it say?
and read it."
Am I the only one that says what I just said? Probably.
Some of the names on here, to say according to skeptical reviewer, I don't know if I mean, you can see it on the computer. I'm not gonna name a name.
Yeah.
But it says someone offered, I guess Alan, this person offered claims to find the same activity such as shadow people in multiple locations. It says some items such as religious iconic. This word I'm not for sure of. It says icon and it says graphy. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that.
Oh,
iconography.
Incraphy?
Incraphy. Is that how you pronounce that?
I think it might.
I'm sorry, people. If I don't know
might
how
be
to say
pronouncing
it.
it wrong. Incraphy, I think.
It's ICONO
PHY or something.
graph E with the Y at the end.
Incraphy?
I don't know,
I don't know. Some, tomato. Who cares? Keep
Right.
going. Doesn't matter.
So anyway, it says after that, it says are not removed. But okay, let me start over real quick. It says
That's all right.
Ellen often claims to find some activity such as shadow people in multiple locations. Some items such as religious, that word,
Incraphy, right.
are not removed but often left in locations. This skeptical reviewer says that notes that Allen appears to offer no evidence to verify her suggestion. She has no pre-existing knowledge of a location, which could be problematic for well-known ones such as Alcatraz, Lady Borden
Oh,
House.
yeah, obviously.
And it goes on to say that the show edited in order to make his investigation appear accurate, removing parts of Allen's observations that don't align with this person's findings. So
Right, yeah.
I just thought that was interesting.
I don't know.
You
Yeah,
know,
I'm
these
fine with the
shows,
show.
these shows edit stuff all the time. Even
Well, they
we
have
even
to.
edit show, even we edit our show
Have
when
to.
we're here
Yeah.
for certain reasons, whatever.
Yeah.
But when you're doing a show like this, I understand you're doing it for entertainment value, but you still gotta be real. You don't want to alter things if they
Right.
didn't actually. You know what I mean? If they happen, you gotta
Show
keep
it.
it.
And if it didn't happen, then it didn't happen.
Right.
Just like Remember our ghost hunt in the house? The late night visitor, I believe. Remember the girl had to move her bed because.
Oh yeah.
Remember, not much really went on there. Remember, it was
Right.
not much was really happening when we were there. I mean,
Right.
we got some readings, but nothing like whoa.
Right. Now, see, if we were with a more, say we were with one of the big channels,
Big
and we had a
shots.
show, okay, and we'd be like, oh, well, maybe the bed was doing this, maybe the bed was doing
We'd
that.
have to hype it up.
Hype it up and say it was something else other than just the electricity flowing under the ground
exactly,
into the floor,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I always told myself, if I ever had made it, I'm not saying if I ever, maybe you never know, someone could pick us up and do a paranormal show.
Ooh.
But I don't want to
You don't want to
alter.
fake it. You don't want to fake it.
I don't want to fake it. I'll be honest with these people. Say, look, if you want us to do a show, we're doing it our way, or you can
No
find
way.
somebody else to do it.
Yeah,
Because
it's just like,
I'm not faking anything.
Yeah,
you know.
you shouldn't. I mean, because it's not real. You're lying. Really.
Yeah.
You're lying.
Right, and I don't want to.
You don't lie.
Yeah.
Be honest. Nothing happened. That was it. We were out.
Right. There's been shows like with Ghost Hunters when they first started, nothing happened, but it was still entertaining for me anyway
Yeah,
because
to
it was
set up
in
the
a
equipment and stuff.
dark,
Yeah,
you know. And,
it's cool. I
let's
agree with
see.
you.
Next we have Paranormal State, which was somewhat of a big show. Where is it here? I have it in my list. It
Hey,
ran
who
from-
was in Paranormal State? Can you
Huh?
tell me? Who was in Paranormal State?
I have a list right here. Look how big that list is. I'm
tell
not
me-
going to read this whole thing because it'll take
Yeah.
way too long.
No, just tell
Um,
me who the head investigator was. That's all I want to know.
Well, if I do that and I have to read this, there's gonna be dead air.
Oh, okay.
So I can't remember. If I could look real quick, I can maybe find somebody. But I honestly, if I look real quick, I don't see anybody's name on here.
Oh, okay. I was just checking. That's all.
but
I
it-
forgot about it.
It was on from 2007 to 2011,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember one show actually was recorded up in Shrewsbury,
Shrewsbury?
Massachusetts, for it to be.
Oh, yeah?
So people listening.
Cool.
I don't know the address. I don't remember where it was.
Ah,
I
it's
had
no
heard
fun.
that they were doing it. I remember driving by, looking for the camera crew and everything, and I think I'd probably missed them because they weren't there. Unless it was at the wrong address. But are you familiar with Paranormal State? Because I only watched a couple episodes. And
It depends because there's one paranormal people that I have I didn't have a grudge against, but I was supposed to go to their show. Oh, yeah. This is the paranormal guy that I did not support because of what he did to his fans, which was,
well, there is some things right here.
Ryan Buell. Ever heard of Ryan Buell and Chip Coffee?
I've heard of Chip.
Okay, Ryan Buell is the guy that was with Chip Coffee, and this is a guy that was just, I was supposed to go to a show. He took everybody's money, didn't reimburse anybody. I was like, after that guy did that to me, I was just like, I'm not watching your show.
Now, if
pal.
anybody doesn't know who Chip Coffee is,
Yeah,
he-
I think he was a psychic.
yeah.
He was a psychic, and
Yeah.
he was a psychic, and Ryan Buell was the investigator. But it's really funny because I was really into Ryan Buell. I thought he was a good guy.
Yeah.
And then he did that whole. He was supposed to do a show in Worcester, and I bought a ticket for like $100, right? He didn't show up to the show, and nobody got reimbursed. I was
Wow.
like, wow, really?
Yeah.
You just lost me as a fan, pal.
Yeah, maybe that's why it canceled in 2011. They say, oh,
Maybe that's
they
why
say
I
Tom
said.
didn't get his refund.
I didn't get
We're
a
canceling the show.
If he's out there, I'm still waiting for that reimbursement chip.
Yeah, if you're listening out
And
there, Tom is waiting, and he's
I'm waiting for that
actually
$100 back.
doubling the refund. Plus, you want
Oh, that's
interest,
going up.
right?
I
How much is the interest? Up to what? 50%, 75%?
over like what 4 years?
Yeah.
Give me a call. Give me a call, Ryan.
Right. So
Ryan.
let's see. I'll just go real quick. Again, I didn't read these before, so when I see something quickly in the first sentence, I'll read it, and I don't know where it's going to go. Right here it says at least one critic has pointed out that the again, another word that looks weird to me.
Nice
It's
to-
investigate Ori.
What?
Yeah, unless it's a misprint.
Let me
I'll
see.
put it this way.
I wish I could see it, then I could tell you.
Okay. Hold on 1 second, people. It's the third little paragraph, I think. Right near my finger. For the people who are not watching, Tom is, or not listening, or whatever, Tom is reading something here. You know what? It's taking too long. Too much dead air.
Too long. Forget
Anyway,
Forget
basically
it.
they're saying, where is it here? The team's failure to identifiably find paranormal activity in each episode gives the show credibility over other series about the paranormal lack. I don't know why it just says paranormal lack.
Lack thereof paranormal disturbances.
Yeah, I think whoever typed this kind of did some
Right.
typos on it. But it looks like, from just that saying that they didn't really appear to have a lot of
Activity going on?
credibility.
Oh, well, if it's him,
it did
I can
last for
see.
a number of years. Maybe it was a show that people like. Maybe it was the people in the show that captured people in. Let's see right here. It says some reviewers have strongly criticized the high production values, which others praise. It says as one otherwise positive review noted, the biggest drawback to the series is that it's overproduced with too many eerie sounds and visual effects. It's heavy breathing, something picked up by PRS microphones,
Not a surprise.
right? Or it's the sound effect added after the fact of the show's by the show's producers. Again, if I was doing the show and I heard that stuff going on, I would be out. I don't want people altering anything, man.
Yeah, you
it's
can't do
just-
that.
it's not
I mean,
part of-
it's fake.
You're
It's
looking
fake.
for the hype, but
But don't make the hype.
it's like
Don't make it,
You don't
yeah.
want to be act like your show's a sellout.
Now, us, on the other hand, people know us. Is that when we investigate, what you see is what you get, and that's all you get.
Right, and people are still going to criticize or could criticize.
I can't see
our
how they
shows
could.
because again, we use stuff that you buy right off the shelves.
Literally.
Nothing enhanced. We capture what we capture,
And that's it.
and it's there. I mean,
What you
there's no
hear,
other way
yeah.
to really explain to people
Yeah.
that are skeptics because they're just going to keep saying, "Oh, this didn't happen, that didn't happen. You altered it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
That's
okay,
just who we are.
whatever,
Like we're by no means even close to being famous whatsoever.
I barely even know
We're
how
just
to
mom
edit.
and pop guys.
Hey, I had to edit our the show that we did, the investigation. I did that. I think I did that mostly me. I mean, I was surprised I even know how to do that. What makes me think? How am I going to edit a video
To make it better, definitely
with an
not.
8mm camera
Yeah,
that I
I know.
have? You know what I mean?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, all right. So, let's see what I got. The next two are the big ones.
The big ones.
The
Let's
big ones. But I'm
lay it
saving
on
the
me.
first big, the one that started it for last. We'll start with the I don't know. They're both kind of up there.
Well, give me
Ghost
one.
Adventures. Ghost
Yeah.
Adventures
Ghost Adventures is cool.
with Zach. We all know Zach Bagans.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
And I'm sure you've seen the show a number of times. Episodes that they've had using really great cameras.
Oh yeah, they get the good stuff.
Sometimes, some of the times they'll show some episodes where these people, they get locked down for 20 or overnight
Yeah,
and into these places that
pretty scary.
I wouldn't even want to go into.
We would go.
They call it, lockdown, and then sometimes there's an episode or two where Zach apparently gets possessed. You'll see
I would not go.
you see like this orb go into like towards his body or in that general area, and then he'll start feeling something weird. And then there's an episode where he's getting mad, he's throwing things, he's punching things, whatever.
Yeah, I would pass on those, Brett. What about you?
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
there's been a lot of skepticism
Skepticism.
of that show because of just how they're always finding stuff, how they're
It's never a
everything
miss
that
with
they
those
find
guys,
is always
huh?
evil, huh?
It's never a miss with those guys. I always find something.
No, well, maybe they just get the right stuff. I don't know. I mean, there's some really cool equipment that I love that they use.
Yeah.
It's like I think it's like $3,000.
Forget about that.
I can't remember what the name of the camera is, but it shows like little stick figures
Yeah, I've
of
seen
where
that. It
these
kinda does
so-called
a dance
entities
and
are.
Stuff. It just bops around. Those are
Yeah.
neat. I like those.
I would love to see it and go to a place that I know has no paranormal activity in it and see if
It
the
does
camera
that.
is actually picking up something fake. Okay, it's just, how sometimes people will use their cell phone,
Yeah.
these little ghost apps. They'll see a little radar and they'll say, "Oh, I picked up."
I think that's
okay,
fake
so
a little bit.
right, no,
Yeah.
it's definitely fake. So anybody's listening that's got those little apps on their phone, they don't
It's a
work.
game.
It's just
It's a
it's just don't bother with that stuff. A phone, it's your phone is not
Your phone's a phone.
it's not gonna find a ghost.
Buy an EMF detector. Buy an EVP recorder. There you go. You want to hear something? Press record and ask
Right.
questions. Play back later. Right?
So, so this camera,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna buy a camera for $3,000 and
Nope.
it's gonna play tricks on you.
No.
But what I'm saying is,
No.
I would love to for my skepticism, I would love to see that camera go to a place that has no paranormal activity, see nothing around, and
like
then
a grocery store or something stupid like that, like
yeah,
Shaw's,
exactly. Well, yeah,
you know?
but then again, you don't know if some haunted spirit, died
I guess.
in a supermarket and then haunted the place.
Pickles
I'm talking
got
about
him.
like my own place, my own house. I know that nothing going on in there.
Yeah, or like my house,
right.
0 activity.
Then go to a place that supposedly has activity
And see what it is.
and see if it picks up.
Yeah.
But people look at that and be like, "Oh, that camera's fake. It's just
I don't
showing
know
like
about,
little."
honestly, I don't know about those. You might. I mean, I'm not saying I don't believe in them, Brett, but I'm very. I don't know if I believe in those cameras. I don't know. I don't know.
So it's a $3,000 camera.
Yeah,
so
I know.
I mean,
I'm not. I mean, what's it picking up? Is it a ghost or you?
I can't recall.
You know what I mean?
I
don't know.
It's been a long time since I've watched the shows, and I learned about the camera way back, and I can't remember exactly what it picks up. It picks up some sort of
something that they bounce around or something.
Right.
It's not moving.
And whether or not that's legit, I mean, showing where the arms and legs and head is
50-50.
But it's regardless, it's entertaining. It is definitely entertaining. They went to a Titanic. There's some really, really good episodes. I can't name just one, but there's one that I like. They go to the Titanic Museum, and they have a memoriam for all the children who died on the ship.
Titanic, right?
And I can't remember how, from beginning to end, how the show was. But in one point, they bought some toys at this local gift shop, and I think maybe a little piece of candy or something. And they went in and they put the candy in certain places of this little memoriam area that they have, and they caught with this camera, the stick figure camera, looked like a boy on the shelf, not really a shelf, but like on the windowsill, and then kind of like do a dive, and then they showed another one similar to that where the boy was hanging around somewhere and just moving around, walking away, whatever. Right. Dude, I don't know. I mean, it's very skeptical for me to interesting, but skeptical.
Yeah, me too. I'm kind of with you on that one. I don't know if I buy it.
I'm just looking really quick here because this is one full page of stuff. It just basically talks. I don't think there was any actual criticism in here. Just
really?
Shows, what
That's cool.
The stuff that they've analyzed. If anybody knows some of the criticism that maybe we've gotten, throw a comment in our
kind of deal, right?
Yeah, throw a comment in there. Shoot us an email. Let us know because we want to know some of the stuff that maybe I'm missing and Tom's missing.
Absolutely. We don't know everything by far, so we miss things all the time.
Like again with Ghost Adventures, I've heard that they're all fake and they have all these reasons why they're fake, and I don't know. It's again this day and age where cameras are so easy.
It's all smoke and
video
mirrors.
is so easy to edit.
Mirrors.
Yeah, exactly.
Smoke and mirrors, buddy.
So this other one, the last one I got was Ghost Hunters, which everybody knows.
Remember we went to them? Remember we went outside their office? Me and you were, I think we went by them and we stopped the car and we went outside. We're like...
Well, we did go by.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I kind of vaguely remember that, but I know me and my daughter back in the day, we went. My daughter was, I think she was like 5 at the time. We drove by with a girl that I was dating at the time, and she was a big Taps fan. And we drove by, took a picture in front of them.
They're great.
Yeah, they weren't there unfortunately, but Ghost Hunters is what got me more into wanting to do what I do today.
Those guys were just great. I just love them because you know why I love them? For what they were before. Bunch of plumbers. I love that.
And the funny thing is that they all had a good click together.
They were nice people. They were very generally nice people. You know? They're very cool, down to earth.
There was one that I'm not going to mention because he might be listening that I was supposed to meet with years ago.
Oh,
and he blew
I
me
remember
off.
that.
And it was for again, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to, but I was starting my own group and I wanted to get someone there that wasn't on the show anymore, that lived nearby. I got in touch with him, talked to him on the phone. I knew it was him. I could tell.
Oh, you talked to him?
I talked to him on the phone a couple times.
How
we
was
agreed
he?
to meet somewhere. Huh?
Cool.
I didn't get a chance to meet him because he didn't show up.
No, I mean, on the phone, was he cool to talk to?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
You could tell it was him.
I remember that time that you were talking about that. You were really psyched.
And,
we're going to get this person.
Yeah, and me and another girl I was dating at the time, we both went down and took us an hour to get there. We said we were going to meet at this place. I waited for another hour for him to show up.
Crickets.
Didn't show up. I'm sure I sent him a nasty email.
Did you ever figure out?
I'm sure I did.
Yeah, but I mean, did he respond to say
He
hey,
never-
I was sick, or I just couldn't?
I
make it?
don't think he did. If he did,
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
Oh,
but
okay. I was
that
curious.
was very short lived. It was too bad because
You're excited.
he would have been a good addition to
The
what
team.
we were forming.
Yeah.
Full
I
Moon
remember.
Paranormal, which was way back, probably like 2000.
Old school for us, remember?
2000. Let me think now. I think it was like 2012. I think is when we kind of started this whole thing with
Really?
us. Yeah.
That long?
I think it was
feel
that long
old
ago.
Now. I think we have more white in our beards now, huh?
I have a lot of. I'm getting there, Tom. But you know what? You're a year and a half younger than me, so it'll catch up.
Birthday's
Wait, what's that right there? I see a little white.
Oh yeah, it is. What I do is I clip them out on the vein.
Yeah, well, you got a lot of white right there. Let me tell you.
It's right here. I know it's like a
It's
chunk
all
of
over you.
its
So what are you
white.
talking about, Tom? Hey, we're not here to talk about beard color, okay? We're here to talk
Listen
about.
here, buddy. Don't be hating. Keep going.
So,
Uh huh.
the Ghost Hunters came out. I think. Let's see. I had it here. Came out in 2004.
Good show.
So it went from 2004 to 2016. One of the longest, I think, running paranormal TV shows out there. And then somewhere in here, there was 2 pages. I stapled them together because there's a few things in here.
Right.
They were talking about spin-offs. The second page was all spin-offs on Ghost Hunters. It was UFO Hunters, which I don't believe lasted very long. I don't even really remember that show.
I never even heard of that show till you just told it to me.
Ghost Hunters Academy, which I remember didn't last
I
very
don't
long.
remember that show either.
There was a show called Kindred Spirits, which
I heard about that. That bombed. Go on.
And another one that's not on here. Oh, it's right here. Ghost Hunters International was the
I remember
first
that.
spin-off that they did.
Yeah, that one's like different countries and stuff,
They
right?
went to different countries.
England and
It
Ireland
just,
and stuff.
to me, it didn't click because it wasn't.
Couldn't get
It's
into
just a
it.
group. I mean, I'm not bashing the people that were on the show. I just
You have
don't
a
think
right
that
to your opinion.
they had a lot of chemistry.
You went into it.
You know, yeah. So there was they lasted for a long time. I should say. Let me go back. Ghost Hunters lasted for a long time to 2016. I think that's what I said, right? Yeah, and then 2019 to now, they had come out with another show with Jason Grant.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's pronounced his last name Gonzalez. I think
Gonzalez?
Steve. I would just call him Steve. He's one of the afraid of spiders all the time. He's all tatted up, you know. You think he's big, tough dude, but he hates spiders.
Oh, spider's gonna cry like a
and
girl.
then you got his buddy Tango. I don't know if you remember seeing him on the show.
Did he have a friend named Cash? No, I'm joking. Go on.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Okay, Tom.
It's the lights.
It's not the lights. You're talking about these 3 lights in front of us are off.
I'm just playing, dude.
Anyway. See, when you start getting off topic, I start forgetting what I'm talking about. Tom, you're turning red.
I'm sorry.
Hiding a little bit of that gray in your beard there.
I'm crazy from the heat. Go on.
All right. So
All right.
anyway, I think it was Jason and Grant started. I think it's on this next page. I thought it said it on there. I think all 4 of them together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Jason, Steve, and Tango are together. Grant didn't do the show for some reason. I'm not sure what it was. Oh, I think he was doing another show. I think they split off. What it was is that I think it was the contract for, I think it was Sci-Fi. They didn't renew it, and then another
really?
station came and took over. Yeah, because they were on Sci-Fi for a while. Ghost Nation, they went to Travel Channel, and I think it's still on. But anyway, Ghost Hunters was the show that started for me.
Me too.
When they started, I can't remember some of the episodes, but there was one big episode. If anybody is a Ghost Hunter follower, they'll remember that they used to do Halloween episodes, and what they would do is they would actually go live to a place and just film live stuff, audio, whatever, right there and then. And
That's cool.
there was an episode that it's a big not a big paragraph, but something had happened during this Halloween. Actually, it says in 2008. That's how long ago it was. Something had happened where the cameras were on Jason and Grant. Jason was leading. Grant decides to move. He's wearing they're wearing jackets because they're outside. And all of a sudden you see in the back of his neck, the jacket looked like it, as he started walking, looked like it got pulled back.
Something grabbed him.
So people were looking at that and saying, that's okay. You know, at the beginning you think it's real, but then there was a lot of skepticism of, was he toying with his jacket somehow to, again, entertainment value? Mm-hmm. And then people would post videos. Oh, look, he's got his hands inside his pocket. He's holding something. Watch.
On a pull like this or something.
When the coat goes back, watch his hand movement in the jacket. I can't remember. It's so long ago. Then when I tried to check it out, I couldn't see it. But it's right here. It says during a 7-hour-long live Halloween show on October 31st, 2008, at least 2 events. Okay, I maybe forgot about the other one. 2 events took place that critics have scrutinized. One occurred with lead investigator Grant Wilson. Has his jacket collar pulled down by an unseen force 3 times. Huh. Goes on to say all the while one of his hands remained in his side, which led another word I'm having a hard time pronouncing. Someone to claim that he was pulling a hidden string.
Oh, like kind of like through his shirt, kind of like a...
Well, he had a big jacket on that I can remember. It was a big jacket, and his hands were in there. And
when
I don't know, people have different reactions, you know, when their hands are in their pockets and something gets, you know, tagged on their shirt.
Yeah, but basically what you have to do is you have to look at the video to see if he
pulled
it and then it moved simultaneously. If it went like this and then it...
Yeah, you can find it on... I'm pretty sure you can find it on YouTube. Then he probably did it then.
I mean, if that happened, it could be... I mean, I'm not saying it's... I don't know, but I mean, if that was the case, then yes, it could be, yes. I hope it wasn't, though, because I really like those guys.
Because something like that hurts people like us.
Because it makes it look like it's all fakes.
Yeah.
Oh, they fake that. It's like, we're not all... Just because basically one bad apple spoils the whole bunch.
Right. And I'm not calling him out that he did that. I'm not sure if he did. I mean, I can't say. I wasn't there. Nobody's ever going to really know. Except for him, exactly.
But you don't want that kind of, you know.
No, that's the wrong way to go about it.
Yep.
You know, if he did do something like that, unfortunately, it's been
cool.
criticized. You know what I mean? And now it's
being
there. Can't change it.
Can't take it back, right?
You can't take it back, man. And let me just go finish off what it says here. Otherwise, it says blah blah blah. His hands were in his pocket. It says this happens again. At one point where Hawes, Jason, he's the other lead investigator, touches Wilson's back collar, moves, let's see, Wilson's, let me read this again. I'm getting, I should have my glasses on. This happens again at one point where Hawes touches Wilson's back and his collar moves down again. Another occurs when supposed disembodied voice tells the hunters, "You're not supposed to be here." Critics have claimed that the voice sounded like it was piped in from an external audio source.
Oh, boy.
In regard to a scrutiny, Wilson and Hawes defend themselves, stating that everything in the show is real and blah, blah, blah. So, there you go. You know, it's unfortunate that it happened.
It's not good.
But,
it's not good.
You know, you watch all the other shows, you can say the same thing for every other show that they've done, where...
Yeah.
You've heard voices or see stuff moved. I mean, there was times when there was one of the early episodes. I can't remember who was up, and I think it was an attic, and there was a chair up there, and they were reviewing the evidence. I think, and they were talking as they were watching the evidence, and all of a sudden they heard a chair move, and they looked at the video, and they had a camera sitting there, and all of a sudden the chair kind of like just like this on the wooden floor. Yeah. Who's to say that it wasn't pulled by a string? You know what I mean? The critics didn't really go after that.
Yeah,
though.
you have to investigate it. I mean, you have to like see if there's like fishing line, and you zoom in on it and see if there's not like filament line going across the camera or something.
My father got me one time. I got to share a little story with that. My father got me one time. I was sitting at the desk, and while I was gone, he tied some fishing string to a thing that holds some files and stuff. And we're just sitting there talking, me, my parents, whatever.
He got you.
And I wasn't paying attention to him. He was just kind of like pulling the string, and I'm sitting there in the corner of my eye. I start moving. I'm like, oh my God, what was that? I said, you see that? I said, I told you something's moving, and
he's like,
he got the string. He showed me the string. I was like, I was so disappointed.
He got over the ghost hunter, didn't he?
I was
he
like,
he got you.
It hurt, man.
He's making a point. Like,
it hurt
see,
because I was like,
it can be faked.
Finally, I got something to prove to my folks that there's something else out there.
They totally set you up. They set you up.
Yeah, they did.
He got you. Wow.
It did.
I think he was just trying to prove a point. Like, see, it can be faked.
Yeah.
Some of it can, not all of it.
Some of it can.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
there's some other shows on here that I didn't write down because I wasn't sure if we were going to really have time to go over some
tell
of these.
me.
But, you know, and I want people's feedback on some of the shows that we didn't cover that may have had reasons why they didn't last long on air. Because I know there was one out in Texas. There were these big guys, big guys, and they used to haul a trailer around. They had all their equipment in a trailer. I can't remember what that show was called. So if anybody knows what that show was, leave a comment because I'd love to know what that one was and what happened to them.
There was one show that lasted only not even one episode. It was the worst paranormal ghost show ever made.
What's that?
Oh my god, it's so bad. It's called The Low Files.
The Low Files.
You know who the investigator was?
I couldn't tell you, Tom. Who
I'm
was the
gonna tell you.
investigator? Huh?
Rob Lowe.
Oh,
It was called The Low Files. It was such
I remember him wanting to do something like that.
It was
that
such
must
a-
have been the show.
The Low Files. It was so bad. I laughed so hard. Well, I laughed really bad. I mean, just to see him investigate was like, oh my god,
Right?
ghost
He probably
hunting
knew
is
nothing
shame
about it.
forever.
You know who else did
The
it?
Low Files.
You know who else did a paranormal TV show?
Who?
I'll give you a hint. He's I'm assuming he's a Hall of Famer, rock and roller. He's from England.
Well, that narrows it down.
Okay.
Come on, England. More than that. Give me a
he
song.
he bit off the wing of a bat.
Ozzy Osbourne? Oh,
Him and his son Jack did
Jack
a,
Osbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's atrocious, isn't it? It is. I don't
watched
care.
one and I was like, they don't know what they're doing.
Dude, come on. It's
Ozzy's been seeing things that aren't there for 40 years.
Well,
if
that's
not
what
more.
happens when you eat
So,
bats. I mean, you
right?
start seeing. That's called rabies.
Yeah, really. Ghost Asylum.
Yeah, I vaguely remember
Do
that.
you remember that? Any of that at all?
Vaguely.
That lasted a couple of years.
Vaguely. I didn't
That
really
was
watch
on
it a lot.
Destination America.
Yeah, I know.
Finding Bigfoot. I remember seeing something like that.
I'm so big-footed out.
But yeah, Bigfoot. I'm not a believer in Bigfoot people.
I'm a believer. I just
saying
think, to prove your theory, you don't need to take a snapshot, but you need to take a shot.
Yeah.
Bag it,
But-
tag it, get the body.
Right. Hey, Alien Encounters and Alien Mysteries.
Them too.
Actually,
No,
Alien Mysteries was
them
in
too.
Canada. I'm sorry, but Alien Encounters was 1 year. It said it only lasted 2013.
Really?
That's what it
Short-lived, huh?
says. Yeah. Ancient Aliens. That says that was on from 2009 to the present. Some of these shows, even if Ancient Aliens. I mean, I think I've seen that name,
Yeah.
but I don't think I've ever watched it. I never see
Neither have I.
anything like that advertised. Maybe because it's on the History Channel, and I don't really ever watch History Channel unless
Maybe.
it's like. I usually watch History Channel when they talk about World War II. I love history on World War II stuff. But even when I
you like
watch
historical
that, I
stuff.
don't see usually any commercials or previews for that show. Let's see, they had a show called for 1 year America's Psychic Challenge.
That sounds wicked cheesy.
Yeah, doesn't it? Well,
That probably
geez, that's
lasted
right up
like,
your
what, like a
alley
year?
there, Tom, isn't it?
Well, no, I mean, that's like cheesy, bad cheesy.
Yeah.
See, I can.
Oh.
What?
Destination Fear.
Yeah.
That's
I've
with,
seen that. It's
oh,
okay.
God, what's his name? I've seen the show a number of times.
It's okay. I've seen it.
And they talk about everything
Scary
from
places.
Bigfoot to
Yeah.
ghostly things that happen
Loch Ness
to.
Monster, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, it's a good show. I'm just going through real quick. About these papers are sticking together as I speak. A lot of haunted titles here.
Ah, too many haunted
towns,
titles.
haunted hotels, haunted homes,
Haunted this,
history,
haunted
blah,
that.
blah,
Yeah. Haunted America. Yeah.
What? Oh, this is off a channel in Canada. It lasted 1 year.
1 year, a
The
whole year,
Girly
huh?
Ghost Hunters.
What is it?
The Girly Ghost Hunters.
Are they girls?
2005.
They're girls, right?
I'm assuming they are. I'm just looking at the list. This is only half the list. I threw the other half away.
Girly Ghost
The
Hunters?
Girly Ghost Hunters, yeah.
There's a lot I can say about that, but none on this show.
I would YouTube and see what that's all about. I mean, you got Great British Ghosts out in the UK.
Girly Ghost Hunters.
There are dozens and dozens of TV shows that are been out there, mainly here in America. but some are out in other places. What else we got? I'll just do like another page here.
Do another
and maybe
page.
we'll just,
Light on me.
let's see. Well, we're in the P's.
The P's.
Well, we got
That
a
many?
bunch of Ripley's Believe It or Not. Believe it or
Okay.
not. Believe it or not.
No pun intended.
Ripley, yeah, literally.
Literally.
It aired for one full year, apparently. Maybe it lingered into the next year. From 1949 to 1950.
What, Ripley's Believe It or Not?
Yeah.
Was that long?
Well, it went 1 year, and then it
That's
didn't
it?
come back till 1982.
Yeah, wasn't it popular in the 80s? Remember Ripley's Believe It or Not?
Yeah, and you know what? In our last podcast that we did when we talked about aliens, I mentioned that there was a show. I think I mentioned Ripley's Believe It or Not. Maybe I didn't, but they were talking about aliens or something, and that's what when I got scarred when they were showing me certain images of aliens.
That was it for you,
I'm pretty sure it was Ripley's Believe It or Not did a segment on some sort of alien thing back in the 80s because 1982, I was 6, 7, something like that. So, yeah, so it lasted from 82 to 86. Then it took a break. Came back on 1999. No, I'm sorry. That was animated.
Say what?
An animated, Believe It or Not, back in 1999.
Let's
it
just
was on
skip right
Fox.
over that.
Huh?
Let's just skip right over that.
I was skipping because well, again, it lasted a year. Probably got canned after the first episode.
No one cares.
And then it came back in 2000, 2003. And then it came back in 2008. Now, I don't know if I have another page for that, but if I did, I threw it away. And it could be more. Because I think 2008, that was hosted by, what's his name that did
Dean
Superman?
Cain? No. Was it Dean Cain that hosted?
Dean Cain.
I was
I
right.
believe he
got
did
it.
it. I
Dean
believe
Cain, right.
he was the last one that hosted, I think.
Because he played in Lois and Clark.
Again,
with,
let
Superman.
people let us know. I want to see comments. I want to see people
Cain.
giving us a little bit of education and things that maybe we missed or whatever.
What other show did he play on? For all those people out there, there's another show that Dean Cain played on that was very popular.
Was it like a show that we're like a topic that we're talking about? Paranormal
No,
show?
but if anybody knows, put it in the comments because I know. And if you do know, you get props from me if you know. But you got to put it in the comments and we got to look for it.
Well, if you're gonna give them prompts, that means you've got to look at the comments, and then when you see a comment aiming towards you about answering your question,
look for me then.
You have to get their name and give them a shout out.
Yeah. Okay. On camera. This is what we're gonna do. We're doing this right. This is right on the fly. Boom. Shooting right from the hip. What show did Dean Cain play on? That was a very popular show. And if you do know, my buddy Brett here will let me know, and you will win. And I can say this person. I'm gonna say your name on the next episode. Like, hey, Bob, Janet, Sarah. Kudos to you. Good job.
Did you say they were gonna win something?
No. I'm just going to say your name on the show. I'm going to say their name on the show. Like, hey, whatever your name is, you get total kudos and preps from me for knowing what show Dean Cain played on.
And if you're from around here, you could win.
Oh, win what?
A spot on the chair here.
Like a surprise. It's like, hey, this is the person that won. But you have to know what show Dean Cain played on.
Yeah, because I don't know any other show that he played on.
If they know, it's very cool.
I bet you I've seen it though, but I just don't know.
You know what? I don't think you did because it's not your genre.
It's not my genre.
It's your genre. Nope.
Well, all right.
No more than that. That's it. It's up to them now.
Let's
Go
see
on.
about that, Tom. All right. Is there any shows that you can think of that maybe you've seen that I
recently?
didn't mention? I mean, like I said, I threw a bunch of the papers away. I thought
there's so many, dude. I mean, you can
know,
spend days on this. So, you know.
They had a show. I think I remember this one, The Pet Psychic.
That's
It lasted for a year. It was 2002 to 2003. But I think I vaguely remember that. And this goes to what is it? Maybe an understatement or something when you said that the ghost dog that we heard back in the day.
Please don't remind me of that.
I know. I'll keep reminding that ghost dog.
I was proven wrong so badly because I was really adamant about, you know what, animals don't have souls, so therefore there's no and we got a ghost dog EVP, which to this day I'm not gonna. I don't know. Apparently we caught a ghost dog EVP barking.
And
right?
we're going to talk about that. We talked about that in a very first episode that we did as a podcast. It was more like a discussion show when we first did. Our first one was here, sitting here, talking
got a
about
scathing response too by people. That was real
were,
popular.
Yeah, you remember that. But we're going to be doing that again. I don't know if my foot's on the camera down here. But anyway, yeah. We got, what is it? Next episode, one of the episodes that we got coming up is going to be a Halloween special. Yeah. And I don't know if this is going to air before or after Halloween, but
What's your costume going to be?
even if it airs before or after, make sure you check it out because
it's going to be fun. Costumes, maybe, right?
I thought you were already wearing yours, Tom.
I am.
That's an old joke. I know.
No, it is because I'm an alien.
Wasn't a very original.
I'm an alien. That's why.
That's right. I forgot. I can imagine what your real self looks like.
I can't show that. It's kind of like that movie, they live with the sunglasses on. You put the sunglasses on, you see who I really am, and it's pretty scary.
Hey, or you could be that little creature inside the head there that's
MIBs?
controlling the body.
You put it in my mouth like.
What is that? MIB, right?
MIB. I don't know which one that was.
That's the first one.
The first and second were great. The other ones are awful.
Right. Yeah. So what we got coming up? Halloween. We're actually going to be doing 2 Halloween specials this year.
No.
We're doing
a Halloween and a Christmas special.
We're doing a Halloween podcast.
Right.
Which is basically it's a remake of our kind of like a remake or reload.
A reboot.
No, like a reboot of what we did our first one. We're talking about ourselves. We talk about some of our stories. And because we also do video podcasting as well, we're going to bring in a couple little pieces of equipment that people can buy themselves for very cheap money to go on a ghost hunt. We'll explain as best as we can for people who are just listening and not actually watching the show.
Talk.
And then we're going to do something really cool. We're going to try anyway. We're going to find a public domain horror movie from way back, maybe like 40s, 50s.
30s, who knows?
I saw some of those might be a little too much. I mean, we'll see. There's tons of movies out there, Tom. So we're going to try to find one of those, and we're going to do a little fun with it. We're going to watch some of the movie. Like you'll watch some of the movie on TV, and then we're going to come in, maybe talk about it, and just kind of maybe have it be dressed up as well. Who knows? Maybe we'll just paint a little. Maybe it could come as Kiss.
No,
a little Kiss makeup. No?
I think I know who I'm going to come as, because like the beard is like perfect for
it. Don't give it away.
I'm not going to say anything, but see, I want to do something that coincides with the beard because beard you can't be something if your beard screws it up.
Yeah,
so it has to be something then facial hair. So
yeah, that's true. I have to keep thinking. I have to keep
remember,
saying that to myself.
We got some beards going on, so you got to go over that.
Yeah, and I'm not shaving this off.
Heck no.
No, I'm not shaving that off.
I think I did one time in my entire life, and it was the worst experience.
I shaved probably once in the past 20 years.
I'll never do it again.
No.
Never gonna lose it.
That's pretty scary itself, when we shave.
Oh my God!
That should be an episode itself.
Don't we look bad when we shave?
The shaved paranormal, something like that.
Oh, it'd be awful.
But yeah. So anyway, that's gonna be it. Again, I think we're gonna end the show here. But again, if anybody has comments, suggestions, questions, you want to be on the show, we'd love to have you. If you can come up with even an idea for a show that might find interesting.
Drop us a line.
What is it? NJA Paranormal Podcast at Gmail. NJA is not just another, but apparently I think we couldn't fit all that into an email.
Either the domain name or whatever.
NJA at Paranormal Podcast at Gmail.
Yep.
So that's it, Tom. You got anything else?
No, I think so. I think it was a great show, and another important thing is remember.
You're not gonna. Are you gonna say it?
No.
I thought you were going to say that.
I'm not. Just whoever gets the trivia question right will get an attaboy by us by saying, hey, whoever you are, we're going to say you're the winner on the show. We're going to say your name. And, maybe if you want to tell us a little about yourself, just kind of like you're like 15 seconds of fame. But you got to know what show it is, the exact name.
Right. So. And because we were talking about paranormal TV shows, we should just say it once. What we used to say before.
Oh. Okay, then we'll end it. It's like, from all of us at Full Moon Paranormal,
stay scared.
End it right there. That was perfect.